again. Relax, take a deep breath. Texas Tech wins again. What a game today up in Norman. As we see you later to those Oklahoma Sooners, as they won't, at least for the regular season, as they will not be coming to Lubbock. And this is the nation's official postgame show. Texas Tech wins 85-84. We are your hosts. I am TJ Kern. That is Blake Hartsfield. Blake, how you feeling, my guy?
Feeling really good, TJ. That's a huge win, and we're going to get into why. But to me, that's kind of a prove it game. And I think I texted you this early in the game, but I think we had all come to the conclusion that they were a good team coming into this game, starting off 4-1 in the Big 12. Winning this game on the road against the ranked 11, but a top 15 opponent, a tough Big 12 road game. This is where you move from good to really, really good. And it's no longer just a hot start. People can't just say, oh, well, they had a little bit of a soft schedule to start it off. And, they won a couple home games, like 5-1 in the Big 12, 5-1 in the Big 12. And the longer they can continue to do this, the more they're going to be, the more they will continue to hang around in the conference championship race with Kansas and Houston. Again, ultimately, I think they're probably going to finish third or fourth, but man, what a win today.
Well, don't know if you know this, and little off topic, but Kansas lost today again. Iowa State got them. So I don't know that the Jayhawks are going to be winning the Big 12 this year. It's up for grabs, my friend.
It is. It's there for the taking. And look, 5-1 is 5-1. It's no longer a hot start anymore.
No, definitely not a hot start anymore. But speaking of my guy, Chance McMillan, what is up? Oh, man. I mean, he had the big game against Butler, but this was his coming out performance in the Big 12. What did he finish with? 29, 27?
27, 6 of 8 from 3, 10 of 13 from the floor.
It was red hot.
Unbelievable game from Chance McMillan. He provided that offense off the bench that we've talked about that this team desperately needs. He's kind of the only option there. Comes through in a big way today. And TJ, really, it was some of the timing of the shots. One in particular, in the first half, when Oklahoma had kind of made their run, I think it was a 12-0 run at that point. He kind of got the ball late in the possession and walked the guy down and hit a big three that kind of stopped the bleeding and stopped the run. And not only making a bunch of shots today, obviously with 27, but the timing of some of those shots was really important for this team.
Well, and in the first half, he was really the only guy you had working. Yeah. Joe Toussaint wasn't doing anything offensively. Pop only had 3 points, 5 points at halftime. Warren Washington, I think, had 0 at halftime. I mean, it was a struggle there for a little bit.
Yeah, Kerwin Walton had a couple of nice baskets in the first half on the little stretch where the Red Raiders built an early lead. Couple of just pump fakes where he took a dribble and put it on the floor. Once he hit a little mid-range, and the other one took it all the way to the basket. He's continued to get better and better, and I think that's a testament to Coach McCasland and just continuing to give him confidence. Putting the ball on the floor was not something we'd seen from him previous to today, so that was encouraging. But yeah, look, McMillan was outstanding in the first half. He continued the second half. Second half, Pop Isaacs did wake up, particularly down the stretch. He had a couple of really strong takes to the rim. Got a couple of big buckets when the Red Raiders kind of closed from a 7-point game to ended up pulling into a tie and then eventually taking the lead. And then my guy in the second half, Warren Washington, with a couple of huge baskets late. Just an overall great win on the road. 85 is a great performance from the offense. And we move on to the next one.
Yeah, back-to-back 50 burgers in the second half between BYU and OU here. So Red Raiders finished the game going 30 of 57, shooting 53% from the field, 9 of 23 from 3, so 39% from 3, so almost 40% from 3. But Blake, this is where you won the ball game. You're first in the Big 12 in free throws, and you continue to shoot free throws well. 16 of 19, 84%. Oklahoma, 15 of 24, 62% in a one point game.
They were excellent from the free throw line today. And I know one of those misses was from Pop Isaacs, which doesn't happen very often. So great team performance there. And then late in the game, Joe Toussaint and Pop Isaacs, when Oklahoma tried to play the foul game and extend the game, I think they only missed one, the very last one from Tucson, where we were only up 2 as opposed to being up 3. But yeah, I mean, they made free throws when they needed to, and closed this game out.
Not only that, I want to highlight Darion Williams, man. 7 points, 5 assists, and 11 rebounds. That guy is just gritty as gritty gets.
You know how I feel about Darion Williams. I've been a fan of his since he stepped on campus. I think he's a winning player. He's never going to light the box score up with points, but you get 7 to 10 points a game. You probably usually get 3 or 4 assists, 6 to 8 rebounds. Plays good defense, and then one of the things that stands out to me, TJ, on a team full of guys who are giving that extra effort, that guy just seems like he's always hustling, even more so than everybody else. I mean, he just seems like he pops up in good spots and is battling down there despite being a little undersized for playing the 4, which is what he's been tasked with doing on this team, and just really impressed with what he gives you on a night in, night out basis.
And we mentioned Pop's slow start, but then he did come on in the second half like we know he can. And he finished with 18 today. So solid performance from Pop.
Right at his average, right? Didn't he come into the game averaging like 19.6? So
yep.
He's right there. I mean, he's been outstanding all year, is leading the conference in scoring probably. Obviously that'll get updated after today's slate of games, but big picture here, TJ, this team continues to find ways to win. Like I said earlier, 5-1 is no longer just a hot start. It is the signs of a legitimate contender in this conference, and it's going to be really exciting. They're in the midst of this 4-game stretch that we've talked about. They're 2-1 so far. I would have taken 2-2 when it started. They've got an opportunity Tuesday night in Fort Worth against a very good TCU team. Win that one. That's another opportunity for a quad 1 win to add to what you got today. And speaking of quad 1 wins, they came into today, I think, in Lardy's updated bracketology at like number 27 overall, and he had him as an 8 seed. This is the kind of win that moves you up at least a full seed line. So they're probably at the top of the 7 line now, knocking on the door to the 6 line. And it will be interesting. They're no longer in question of making the tournament, TJ. They're in the tournament unless the wheels just totally fall off. At this point, it's how high of a seed can they get?
Yeah, it's all about building that resume. And man, these bracketologists, what are we doing? The team's first place in the Big 12. How many times you got a 5-1 team in the Big 12 and you're going to put them on a 7 line?
I think they're still being hurt from their non-conference schedule. They played a pretty weak overall schedule, a weak overall strength of schedule, and their wins against teams of note. I mean, they beat Michigan down in Atlantis, but I think Michigan struggled by their standards this year. Vanderbilt has turned out to be absolutely horrible. That was a game that they were kind of penciled in out in Fort Worth. Vanderbilt has turned out to be, not very good. They lost at Butler, who's a bubble team out of the Big East. So there's no, it's a quality loss, right? You're not going to get penalized for that. But I think it's the lack of signature wins coming in. Obviously, they lost to Villanova as well. But if you continue, look, there is no such thing as a soft strength of schedule in this conference. I think I saw something the other night that of like the 10 hardest remaining schedules in college basketball, 8 of them are in the Big 12. Just because there is no easy schedule in this league. So if you continue to stack up Big 12 wins, you'll continue to move lower and lower in the brackets and end up potentially with a 3 or a 4 seed, which would be outstanding.
And this is the nation's official post-game show. Tech wins today 85-84 in Norman at Oklahoma. See you later. Go to the SEC. But Blake, how about Red Raider Nation hitting the road? I know you heard those Raider power chants today.
Oh yeah, the fan base is great. They even talked about that on the broadcast, and I suspect that they will have a very strong level of support in Fort Worth on Tuesday night. So, great to see the fans continuing to support this program.
No doubt about it. I mean, there's nothing like going into another team's building and whether it's half the seats or a third of the seats, but man, are they loud.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So big win today. I'm super excited for Tuesday night in TCU in Fort Worth. Free throw shooting again. Probably my biggest takeaway from this game is to why you won it. You are leading the Big 12 in that category, and man, it's just nice to see and have confidence in guys going to the charity stripe, knowing when the game's on the line. You got Pop Isaacs up there. Dude's automatic. Goes 2 for 2.
Toussaint's very good. Williams is a very good free throw shooter. So you got three guys that you can rely on. I would imagine McMillan's probably a pretty good free throw shooter as well. So, but I mean, certainly you want to get it into Isaacs and Toussaint's hands. They're both over 85% of your two lead guards. That certainly helps to close games out.
Yeah, and we were kind of at one point in the game, we were kind of upset with Pop and Joe. You know, they were turning the turnovers a little bit. They weren't really doing anything offensively, and man, it was the game got sloppy and kind of got out of hand there for a little bit.
I don't know if I'd call it sloppy as so much as it's just a Big 12 game, TJ. It's a nothing is easy in this league. You go look at the scores on a week-to-week basis. All of these games are, for the most part, pretty close. Occasionally, you see a team get boat raced, but certainly in the minority of results in this league. And look, I mean, it was on the road, and it was going to be a tough game, but they found a way to get it done. At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Coach McCaslin and company, way to
He's
go.
A winner. He's a winner.
TTW, toughest team wins. And today the Red Raiders got the victory in Norman, 85-84. Once again, this is the nation's official post-game show. I am TJ. That is Blake. Blake, anything else before we get out of here?
Wreck 'em.
Wreck 'em. We will see you guys with a post-game again on Tuesday night. And be looking for another podcast, the nation's official podcast, one day this week. Me and Blake will get together and coordinate that. So that's all I've got, Blake. I can finally take a sip of water, relax, and get my heartbeat to go down a couple of notches.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Enjoy this one.
All right, bud. Well, you have a good night with the fam. And everybody, we will see you on Tuesday night when the Red Raiders take on TCU.